What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Tight Lines Podcast, hosted by me, Tyler Plackey. In this week's episode, I'm gearing up to go pike fishing for the first time in my life. Never actually gone out to truly target pike, so we will discuss what gear I'm packing, including baits, combos, and how I'm preparing, and so much more. Also, there's a brand new tackle store dominating the scene right now, and if you aren't familiar with them, we're going to make you pretty familiar as we're going to give an early review into their success. We'll talk about my communication with them so far, my orders, and what I've seen. All this coming at you right now on the Tight Lines Podcast. Welcome to the Tight Lines Podcast, your destination for anything fishing. Now here's your host, Tyler Plackey. Alrighty, welcome back. As you guys recall, at the end of the 2025 year, we put out an episode and we talked about some of my goals for 2026. And one of my angling goals for this year was to catch a new species. Now, I've already checked that goal off, as we've talked about, with rainbow trout. I went out and caught rainbow trout, had a great time with it, and I've been back out fishing for them. It's a ton of fun. But I figured, why not go ahead and add another species to the list? So that's the plan. This week, I'm heading out. When I say this week, I've already actually gone fishing for them at the time of recording, but this was all written before, so just go with me here. I'm going to go out and fish for pike for the first time ever, and I figured I would give you guys a little insight into this. So we're going to mainly be talking gear here, pretty much what I'm going to be bringing along with me. We're not going to talk a ton about techniques. We're not going to get super specific because I'm no expert in it, so I don't want to lead you guys down the wrong path. We're just going to give a basic overview of gear I'm bringing along. But we also discussed some of the research I put in to give me a better chance at catching the pike. Also, if you guys want to see all of the gear that I'm bringing with me, go back to March 2nd on my YouTube. There's a great video. I talk about all the stuff that I bring, and you can see it there too. So if you actually want a true visual representation, there you go. So we're going to first start off with the combos, of course, and I'm going to be bringing 5 combos with me for pike fishing. This is because, they're not all going to be with me at once. I may not even fish all of them, but I do want to be able to throw multiple techniques and cover kind of a wide variety because you never really know what the bite is going to be. All right, you guys. One thing to note as we start this off, when we start talking about combos, so I have 5 combos I'm taking. On 3 of them, I am running braided line. The other 2, one has mono, one has fluoro on it. We will talk about that momentarily. So with the 3 that have braided line, all 3 of them have a 30-pound steel leader tied onto the end. Obviously, pike have huge, sharp teeth. And these teeth are going to slice through braid like warm butter. Doesn't matter if it's 65-pound braid, 80-pound braid, whatever it is. Sharp serrated teeth cut right through braid, so you gotta either have some sort of fluoro or steel leader. I'm running steel, but might switch to fluoro depending on the water clarity, but I'm not anticipating super clear water. So number 1, the first combo. If you've listened to a past episode, you guys know this one's coming. Who would have thought? My Dobyns MK734C, the 7.3 heavy fast casting rod with a 7-to-1 Corrado 150 MGO reel, 20-pound Power Pro braid. This is going to be used for basically most of my stuff. Swim baits, chatterbaits, anything between the 3/8 and 1 ounce size, jigs, Texas rigs, all sorts of fun stuff. Just the all-around combo. Combo number 2 is another one you guys know about. It's the Dobyns MK705CB. That is the 7-foot crankbait rod from Dobyns from the Maverick series. Also has the 7-to-1 Corrado reel on it. Wish I had a little bit slower reel. Got this one on deal. No biggie. It's like a 7.4-to-1. It's not super fast. And has 12-pound Seaguar Basics fluorocarbon on it. This will be jerk baits and crankbaits. If I decide to throw them, maybe spinner baits. I might throw some spinner baits on here just because the first combo has the Power Pro, which means it has a steel leader. Spinner baits might end up getting thrown on this second combo just because it has a little bit of give. Not a fan of it for chatterbaits, but I know I've done some spinnerbaits on in the past. Don't know how much I'll throw a spinnerbait though. The third one is another combo that we have discussed. It actually features a reel that we reviewed, and it's the 7-foot Daiwa Aired X casting rod. It's a medium heavy fast, and it has the Abu Garcia Max Pro reel on it. Spooled with 40-pound braid. This is a shorter alternative to the first combo we talked about. Again, with the braid, it's going to have a steel leader on it. But as we're spending a lot of time in the kayak, this one actually throws a little bit heavier as well. It throws between ½ ounce and 1.5 ounces. It's a little bit shorter, a little bit easier to mess around in the kayak while sitting, so it's not a huge kayak. And so this might be a really good option for me to have instead of the big 7.3 rod, especially because this one can throw some of the bigger swim baits without getting into like the mag heavy swim baits that we're going to talk about in just a moment. So this is probably going to end up getting thrown a lot this weekend just because I think it's the best setup all around. Combo number 4 is a new combo that we have actually yet to talk about. This will be another big combo I'm going to throw a lot this weekend. And it is the big swim bait combo. This is a Daiwa DX swim bait casting rod. It's an 8-foot, heavy, fast. It throws 2 to 8 ounce lures. I have it paired with an Abu Garcia Ambassador 5500 C3 reel. It's the traditional round bait casting reel and 20-pound smoke colored Berkeley fire line. Again, 30-pound steel leader on the end of this. This will be for Alabama rigs, swim baits, glide baits. I do have one big whopper plopper I'm going to take with me. You guys have heard me talk about it before. It's one I've called my PB on, the big Bass Pro Shops XPS whopper plopper, whatever they want to call it. I'm going to take that just in case we get into a spot where, hey, maybe they're, going to hit. But I have a feeling we're going to be fishing pretty shallow water this weekend. Probably not going to throw a ton of treble hooks. The 5th and final combo we're bringing is going to be a spinning combo. I think I actually said something different in the video, but I've made different decisions. I am going to bring the spinning combo instead. And that is going to be the Maverick 702 SF from Dobbins. 7-foot, medium, light, fast spinning rod. I have a 2500 size Shimano Miraval reel on it. 10-pound mono on it. Maybe 12-pound mono. I think it's 10-pound mono though. And this is going to be used for, if we're smallmouth fishing a little bit, for Ned rigs and craws and tubes, because we're up north. Blade baits, small crankbaits, small jerk baits that might not be needing to be thrown on the casting rod. And this will be another one of the main ones I'm going to probably use this weekend. So again, the 5 combos we're bringing the 7.3 heavy fast casting rod with the Corrado MGL. We're bringing the crankbait and jerkbait rod. We're bringing the shorter, the 7-foot Daiwa Aired X rod with the Max Pro reel on it. That one in the first combo again, going to kind of just be interchangeable this weekend, just depending on if I want a longer rod or not, or if I want the ability to throw a little bit heavier of a lure. The 4th one is the big swim bait rod that we talked about. It's the Daiwa DX swim bait rod with the Abu Garcia 5500 C3 Ambassador. And then the final one is the spinning combo, because you can't go north without bringing spinning gear, because of course it's the north and they're finesse to the bone. Up next, we must discuss lures I'm bringing. So there's a new box that I have bought. It's one of the Pro Latch series. It's the deep one. It's for my bigger baits. I have a couple big swim baits, a couple glide baits, the big whopper plopper, and an A-rig in there. The A-rig is going to be a ton of fun to throw because it has 3 of the final copies on it. I got some final copies from Strike King on a deal. So I've got like a 6-ounce Alabama rig here. And I only have 3 on there, obviously, because in Indiana you can only have 3 on the end of your A-rig. Hashtag free the A-rig. Got a big popper I'm probably going to bring along too, but probably won't use it a ton. Big bone glide bait, bone colored glide bait. 9-inch coal shad. There's going to be some of the big ones. So yeah, just a lot of big stuff. Next thing we're going to be bringing is going to be, we're going to have jigs. We're going to have trailers for our jigs, so swim jigs, chatterbaits, football jigs, all of our trailers for flukes, craws, paddle tails. We're going to be bringing some spinner baits. We're bringing our jerk baits and our crank baits as well. Also a more medium-sized swim bait box. So for like the normal size, like the 6-inch coal shad, the 6-inch final copy, and the mag draft. And some like 5-inch like unrigged coal shads. Some other stuff that I've kind of got mixed around in there that can fit in there. Some of our Nessies. We might throw a couple Berkeley Nessies this weekend. And then finally, obviously, we talked a little bit about the fluke box, because you can't go to Northern Indiana without a fluke, because who doesn't love fishing a fluke? Next, moving on to gear that I'm bringing with me, since we're pike fishing, we'll also be in kayaks. The net's coming along, bringing along some lip grippers like I use for catfish, mostly just to help control the fish. I want to make sure that I can really safely handle this fish for both me and the fish. I don't want to be falling in the water. I don't want to be getting bit. I don't want the fish getting hurt. I want to be able to control this fish in a manner that's safe for everyone. I'm also going to have a scale with me to help. Obviously, you want to know the weight of your fish. It's also a tape measure on the side of it so I can record length because, as you guys know, pike normally are measured in weight and length, more of the length though. A couple pair of pliers just in case you drop one in. Some scissors, of course. And all these are going to go into my dry bag along with phone and wallet and keys. And then my camera batteries, my camera. I'm going to have my chest mount on, all sorts of fun stuff. A couple towels because pike are slimy. Just a bunch of stuff going in the back of the kayak. Hopefully not too much. And I do have another empty box. It's one of the Plano like multi-layer boxes. It's in like a smoked out gray color. Because I don't want to bring like 5 or 6 different trays on there. I want one. I want this one like the big box, and probably just this one most of the time I'm on the kayak, just because it's gonna be hard to throw an 8-foot rod with a 6-ounce bait on the end of it on the kayak. This just helps me maximize what I can bring on in minimal space. Don't need to have, if we're going in like the paddle tail section, right? If we're talking about swim baits, and I've got, all of my Kitex in there, I don't need 8 of each color. I probably just need, 3 of each color with me because I'm only going to be out for 10 hours, not for 2 weeks. This just allows me to kind of go through and bring stuff that I need to bring, not overpack, not underpack. But also throw as many techniques as possible because, of course, we want to be versatile. We want to be able to adapt to obviously what the pike are biting, what the water temperature, the water clarity is. We just want to make sure that we're all around ready to go. Some of the main things that I anticipate throwing this weekend is going to be obviously the big swim baits that we talked about. The 6-inch and 8-inch call shads gonna be big ones. I think the Alabama rig's gonna be helpful. Chatterbait swim jigs, crankbait's gonna be another big one. I don't see the jerkbait playing a ton for me this weekend, mostly because I don't like throwing jerkbaits in rivers, just because there seems to be a lot of stuff jerkbaits can get caught on compared to throwing a square bill, which tends to bounce. Mostly in the square bill, in the crankbait, gonna be throwing like OG tiny 4s. More of a shallow diver, balsa crankbait, circuit board lip should just bounce right off and not snag or anything we don't want to snag. Chatterbaits can be a real big one, especially the big blade one. Just a lot of big extra thump, really fire up a pike, hopefully. So that is all the stuff that I am bringing for pike fishing. Hopefully gonna have some good luck. Hopefully catch some fish. And now we're gonna move on to a very, very fun review. And I'm going to pull up a website for you guys because we're going to be reviewing a brand new company that has shown up in the tackle industry in the last couple months. And that is the Rod Locker. So some of you guys probably heard me talk about American Legacy Fishing in the past. I'm a previous customer of ALF. ALF shut down. If you guys want to learn all about that, go over to the Tackle Talk podcast. Andrew did a really good episode with Brian Donley, who is the head honcho now of the Rod Locker, on what all happened there and everything going on. And so there's all that. I'm not going to talk too much about all the drama there. That's not my place. I'm going to let all that kind of have its own thing. But we're going to talk about so far my experience with the Rod Locker. So first piece of experience I figured out is I finally got added into the group, into the Facebook group that I wanted, because there's like that premium group that they did for ALF. They just carried it over, renamed it to the Rod Locker. And the reason they renamed it for the Rod Locker, didn't make a whole new group, is because anybody who had purchased the ALF Elite membership back when ALF was a thing, got a free 6-month trial to the Rod Locker's Platinum program. We're going to go on to their Platinum program and going to read about it real quick. So their Rod Locker Platinum annual membership is $39.99 a year. That is $10 cheaper than the old ALF package, which was $49 a year. And I'm clicking around on my computer right now, and we're going to talk about what you get from it. So if you go to Locker Rewards, okay. So I'm trying to find it here. I just had it, and I can't find it. So, but pretty much, so it's $39.99 a year. Some of the big things you get is you get 5% back in points on every purchase. So you get 5 times points. Every dollar you spend is a point. Every 100 points is a dollar. So a point's worth a penny pretty much. So you get 5 points for every dollar spent. For an elite member, or a platinum member here. From there, so you get free shipping on all orders, $5 express shipping on orders less than $100, excluding rods, free 2-day shipping on orders over $100, which excludes rods. In the trading factory, you get boosted trading value by 10%, and free shipping on all trades. For shopping purposes, you get 5% back in points, which is as good as cash pretty much. It's just almost a gift card. The points thing's really cool. It's nice to have. You get exclusive early product releases, which has actually been happening, I've seen, and also elite only promos and discounts. So with this, they've come out with some, like, a couple weeks ago they had 20% off Megabass jerk baits. And they just did a Megabass, box strap, and they did a bunch of Megabass stuff. There's all sorts of cool things that you get with it. You get into the Facebook group, you can talk with other guys, guys and girls that are platinum members. Really, really cool setup. Now we're going to talk about what I have ordered from them so far. We're talking, I've so far spent some money with them. And since I've been a member, again, I have the free membership. I've spent about, that would be about $140, $150 for them over 5 orders. Every time it's been free shipping. Every time the order has shown up very fast. The longest it's taken is, one time was like 5 days, but we also had 18 inches of snow. So I'm going to give them credit for that. 18 inches of snow and only took 5 days to get here. That's a pretty good deal. Free shipping every time. Good customer service. They're really nice people to talk to. You can call if you have questions. You can email them. You can get on Facebook and ask. But every order has been correct. It has been very carefully packaged. I have never once seen an order come in where the fishing gear is wrapped in bubble wrap. Until I ordered from the Rod Locker and stuff is coming in literally wrapped in bubble wrap, which you just have to appreciate that. Most of the time, if you order during business hours, typically within an hour, I've actually seen as fast as like 10 or 12 minutes from when I've ordered. I've gotten a notification that my order has been received and is packaged and already has a shipping label on it and is going to be dropped off at the post office. So they are very quick, very responsive. But yeah, I've really, really enjoyed the Rod Locker so far. They've done a really good job. Really happy for them. Obviously, they all went through a tough time. A lot of guys who are ALF guys, they're now, with the Rod Locker, they went through a rough patch with trying to, get jobs and make money. And so ton of respect for them. They've done right. Really nice. The 6 months free membership has been really, really cool. Definitely something that when it comes up and my 6 months is up, I am going to be restarting and paying my $40 a year too, because so far across 5 purchases, I've already saved $25 just in shipping alone. Then you add another, I've saved, I think, $15 on orders just from like special drops that they've done. So there's my $40. And then I've been using, I get the 5% back in points. So I've gotten back, will that be $9 in points already? $10 in points almost. And then I'm also using a discount code. It's Tackle Talk in the month. Go listen to his podcast. He'll tell you all about his discount code for another 5%. Great deal. So I've really loved the Rod Locker. My only gripe I can think of here, and I wouldn't even call it a gripe, it's probably just a product of success for them, is that it's really, really difficult sometimes to find what you want in stock. Especially in the tackle sense. So if I go to here and I search, let's search chatterbait, okay? I enjoy throwing at chatterbait. I've recently got into the jackhammers. So we're going to go ahead and pull up the Z-Man Evergreen Chatterbait Jackhammer. It's $19.99. They have 4 sizes in it, a 3/8, a 1/2, a 3/4, and a 1 1/4 ounce. They are currently completely sold out of the 3/4 and the 1 1/4 ounce size. If you go to the 3/8 ounce size, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of the colors in stock, and they're missing another 7 of them. If you go to the 1/2 ounce, kind of same deal, missing a lot of colors, still got some in stock, but that's just one of them. I've noticed that in a lot of things, they're kind of missing some colors, most likely a product of, they're out of business for a while and they're trying to build stock up, but just hoping that they can get a little bit of a stock soon. Another thing is there's obviously some brands that they're missing that I wish they'd carry, but obviously it's not my tackle store, so I can't force them to carry brands that I want. But yeah, my biggest gripe there, and again, not a gripe, it's more or less just a product of success for them, has been the fact that, well, they're in business and selling a ton of stuff. And honestly, I think it's probably tough to keep things in stock for a small business. They can't order 24/7. They can't have a back stock of 60 of every lure in every single color, because then they'll never have any money. One other really cool thing to talk about with the Rod Locker is the same as ALF. They have a really, really cool used program. You can go on, you can get used rods, used reels, combos, and they even have some used marine electronics, it says. Um, but if you go on, let's go to like their used casting reels right now. It's for fun. So on here, they currently have 78 used casting reels for sale. Variety of conditions and prices and brands. They've got 13 Fishing. They've got Abu Garcia. They've got Daiwa. Um, they've got Luz. Um, they've really got everything. They got some Flugers, some Quantum, some Okumas, Savage Gear. There's Shimano down here. I mean, they've got, Shimano Aldebarans for $369 in very good condition. Calcutta's for, $40 in fair condition. I mean, there's a really high-end Shimano Calcutta right there for $269. They've got, let's see if we can find a good one that I can really tell you. I mean, here's a Shimano Corrado 200 and a 6.2 to 1 gear ratio for $189 in what they call very good condition. And if you go to their deal and you go to their description on it, they have a whole thing on their condition on how they can, rate things for their conditions. And they're very generous, where very good's probably going to come in and you'll be like, holy cow, this is like way better than bigger. This is excellent. So really cool program. Real quick, let's go just for fun. Let's go to the fishing rods for fun. So if we go to the used fishing rods, if it'll load, and we'll go just to the casting rods itself. They currently have 217 used casting rods in stock. They've got Megabass rods. They've got, 13 Fishing. I'm sure they've got Dobbins in here somewhere. They've got Denali rods. There's a Dobbins Champ. They've got, Champ XPs. They've got, I would assume, some Ecstasies in here somewhere. But they've got a ton of stuff in here. They got Cadence. Got a big swim bait rod. I'm actually going to look at that one, so we're not going to talk about that one too much because I'm going to look at that. It's a really nice big swim bait rod. But really, really cool stuff over here from the Rod Locker. Definitely go check them out. Really, really cool spot. So actually, guys, that is it for this week's episode. I want to thank you guys all so much for tuning in, as you always do. I really do appreciate it. As always, please be sure to drop us a subscription right here on wherever you're listening to. We're currently on Apple. We're on Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Podcast. So drop us a follow there. It helps grow the show. Also, drop us a rating, whether it's a thumbs up or a 5-star or a 1 to 10, however your service allows you to rate things. Please go ahead and drop a positive review, as that does help the show, helps the algorithm. It's a huge, huge thing for us. We really do appreciate it. Also, if you're not already, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube, follow my Instagram. Both of them are Tyler Plackey Fishing. Super easy to find. There you can kind of keep up with what I'm doing. You can message me about the show, stuff for the tackle box. And if you really want to stay up to date, my Instagram is always the first place it gets updated. YouTube typically follows, and the podcast is last. So definitely go ahead and check all that out. Really fun stuff over there. Again, thank you guys so much. Your guys' support really does mean the world to me. We are growing as a show. We're getting a couple more viewers every episode. Really hope to get some cool stuff out for you guys. Kind of going to start working on some really fun things. And a lot of great stuff to come. We're finally getting out of winter. Here it's just the beginning of March now here in central Indiana. The snow's off the ground. It's starting to warm up a bit. Hopefully get into some fishing soon. So thank you guys so much for listening. And as always, tight lines, y'all.